Another special episode of Cinematography for Actors podcast. We're live here from the 19th annual Oscar qualifying HollyShorts Film Festival at the TCL Chinese Theatre in Hollywood. I'm Haley Royal, and I am seated with filmmakers
Eugen
Merher and Alexander Wolf David. They made the film The Boy Who Couldn't Feel Pain. Hey guys, how you doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Can you guys start us out and give us a little log line about what your film's about?
All right, let me give it a try. So I'm writer and director, and he did the music for it. And the film is basically about a boy who couldn't feel pain, literally, and it's about a boy who loses his parents at a very young age, and that makes him sort of freeze mentally and also just in terms of feelings. And so after that, he becomes a really good fighter because he can't feel any physical pain. And of course, it's about him meeting a girl that hits him so hard eventually that he starts feeling pain again.
Oh.
Did you see the movie?
I haven't seen it yet, but
so
now
you should.
I'm looking forward to...
There's also
She's a bowling champion, right?
She's a bowling, yeah,
okay.
She's really good.
This bowling champion hits this guy so hard he can finally feel pain.
Exactly.
Amazing.
You read the description.
Nice.
Of course I did the research that I could do, you guys.
Yes.
So, it's how do you show that someone couldn't feel it and then all of a sudden they can feel pain? What technical elements are you using to be able to get that feeling across?
So the story itself is told as a legend, so it's
Okay.
not super realistic in that sense. It's all set in like a really small town in New Mexico
Okay.
called Grants, which was also a great experience filming there.
You shot there in Grants.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so because we tell it as a sort of legend, there's also a voiceover, and that sort of helps us guide the viewer in terms of just following the story and also feeling like it's not quite real, but it's more about the emotional reality of it.
Okay, great. Did you use any kind of special gear to make it feel more like a legend than reality?
I mean, we shot everything pretty static in a way, or on dolly, or using like a fake kind of Russian arm, or Ukraine, what it's called now. But
I do want to talk about that.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
So we had like a pickup truck where we attached like a gimbal with like a special arm that sort of balanced it, which was like a cheap version of the Russian arm because you couldn't do much with that. But it was enough to do a lot of like shots of the town, of him running in the town. That's a big part of the story as well, that he's sort of trying to escape from this tiny little town. But everything was very static and like very, like we even had like a crane shot from above where the whole dialogue is just a top shot. So we never have a close-up. It's literally just an awkward top shot perspective of a dialogue in front of the bowling alley.
Right.
Just to make everything slightly awkward and stiff in a way, because that town also had that weird sort of being stuck in time feeling. So that was...
Let's talk about that improvised Russian arm that you created. You said it was on a pickup truck.
Exactly.
Okay, and then what came off of the truck itself?
As far as I remember, what the DP did, I mean, I think it was we had a Ronin attached. So the Ronin had the camera in it, but the Ronin itself was attached to like to a type of small crane that has a balancing element as well, but I don't know how it's called.
I see. So what were your discussions with is your talent running to keep up with the truck, or running in, because they're working with this piece of equipment that maybe they're not used to. So what kind of things do they have to change in their performance to be able to keep up with that kind of thing?
Well, it was a tricky one because there was a whole shoot day where where the main actor, he had to just run literally, and he's also a little bit bigger, and at that time he wasn't too fit, like he wasn't preparing specifically for that shoot, so it was quite troublesome.
It was
also just like, I mean, it's just hard for the body because you have to run all the time and then on cue.
All day.
So it was very intense, but he did a great job. I mean, it was like 8 hours of like back and forth, like stop and go running kind of thing. So big respect to him.
And had you set up a system on your set where he could communicate directly with whoever was operating or driving to be able to collaborate during that? Or was
I mean, we were
did you
talking
prefer
all the time. So
everyone was...
Yeah, it was the set was not too big, so it was literally him, the pickup truck, and we were on the pickup truck, and then
And you're shooting in New Mexico.
yeah.
How did that affect your choices as far as like gear packages and lighting, things like that?
So it was a film school project. So basically, we didn't have a lot of money
Right.
for everything.
Right.
I think we were lucky that it was in New Mexico, just because we thought it's like an LA kind of thing, or some, and then it would have been probably disastrous for our budget.
Right.
So in New Mexico, there were like a couple of rentals that were just really cool with us. Like we talked to them in person and said, hey, this is a student project, or this is so. Could you give us a good deal? So we got a few good deals with. To like a big rental. I don't remember the name. I'd have to look it up again because it's
We're
3 years
grateful
ago
for them.
that we shot it. But and then also like a dolly rental that just gave us their equipment for like a really low kind of price. So
That's wonderful. Let's talk about the music.
Why not?
I imagine you had to create something that would help it feel like a legend.
Yeah, I mean, like this. We try to capture this vibe of the town and the feeling of the surroundings, and what we
emptiness of it.
emptiness, yeah, and like this, how you say, silliness or the awkwardness.
Yeah.
How do you portray empty silliness?
I mean, what we did, we just sat down in the studio, and we always he's always there from the first note I play, basically, and then we were like just exploring stuff, and I like to just having input while I explore stuff, and
that's great.
he's always like, keep this, and then
so he just improvises, and
Yeah.
then for example, say, I love this guitar, like this riff or something, and then we're like, okay, this is the theme or something, and then after that we just keep chasing that.
And
But
then we discovered like this instrument, which they also play in New Mexico. Is this? It's a cigar box, and they build a guitar out of it, and you play it like with a bottleneck of a.
Very cool.
That's really. You will hear it in the movie. It has this.
It's hard to explain, but it's like it's like very all over the place. It's not very precise, but that sort of makes it
And then we mixed it with other stuff, synthesies, and like
90s synths that we liked, like from Hans Zimmer, Thunderbird.
Hans Zimmer, great reference.
Nobody knows this guy. He's very underrated. Yeah.
That is excellent. So you chose to shoot in a 4:3 aspect ratio. What was the decision for that you made? How was that motivated?
So the DP and we were talking about it a lot. I mean, the main thing for us was that it's a small world. I mean, when we arrived there, obviously you have all these planes, and I mean, especially in New Mexico, everything is just super cinematic from our German perspective. Everything was just mind-blowing. So we really wanted to do like anamorphic first and like super wide, but the story itself was so simplistic in a way, like that we thought this 4:3 aspect ratio is just suits it better. So that's how we went along with it, and also the locations, everything, and was also just focused on. It's literally almost just shots of actors all the time, like close-ups, except for that one top wide shot where we hardly see their faces.
That one
wide
special
shot.
one. That's excellent. You guys, where did you already screen?
Oh, a
Or
few
when?
places. I mean,
Festival.
I mean, here at this festival, have you screened, or can we still
no,
catch
Oh,
it?
you can still catch it. You can still
Okay,
catch it
amazing.
next Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Next Tuesday at
It's
5
in the
p.m.
student block.
In the student block.
Yeah.
And you can
Okay.
see the trailer before the other things.
Yeah, the trailers always before every program. The trailer is playing. So.
Okay, excellent. And also on BitPix, if you're not here in Hollywood, if you can't get to the festival, you can still watch The Boy Who Couldn't Feel Pain.
Also, it was nominated for a Student Academy Award last year. So
Congratulations!
made it to the finalists.
Nominated.
Didn't win, but
Amazing. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys.
thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
This has been another special episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. We are here live at the 19th annual Oscar qualifying HollyShorts Film Festival through August 20th. Follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts, and if you are here at the festival, come up to the VIP lounge and say hi.
We also want to give a huge thank you and shout out to our sponsors, which we have so many to help us put this together, and that is Apogee Film Tools, Roscoe, Lightstone Rentals, Canon, and First Mile Technology for the awesome Wi-Fi hookup. As a special gift to our CFA listeners, we have partnered with a company called We Make Movies, you may be familiar with them, to offer discounted production services, including access to comprehensive production insurance and workers' comp for your next shoot. Visit wemakemovies.org/insurance and use code CFA23 on your next intake form for 10% off your quote. We are making filmmaking more accessible. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time on the Cinematography for Actors podcast. Thanks all. Bye.